Are you living your best life as a salesperson or entrepreneur? Or do you find you're working all the time on this hamster wheel of life while stressed out and not financially free, which is the exact opposite of what you had signed up for, especially now in this global pandemic? If this is you, you are not alone. I found myself there in 2008 when I lost everything, including my health, and had to pivot working from home for the first time with no money. I rebuilt my life from scratch, juggling motherhood and marriage to get my life back and be recession and pandemic proof today. Now we live laptop lifestyles with our kids and are poised to travel the world together. How did we do it? Join me as I share my health and wealth and wisdom secrets, tips, tools, and expert interviews to equip you to be recession proof and live your best life. My name is Lois Koffi, and this is Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. All right. Happy day to you. This is Lois Koffi and another episode of Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. Guys, I am so excited because I have been having massive breakthroughs this summer and I want to share those with you. Today, we're going to focus on what my breakthroughs have taught me. I didn't realize I had really some big paradigms around things that I wasn't doing in my business. And I thought, I'm too good for that. That's not for me. And COVID actually brought a lot of this to light. Before COVID, and I don't know if this was you, I am an extrovert. I was always face-to-face, belly-to-belly, always on the phone, always meeting people in person. And for webinars, events, even inviting people to networking events, it was always easy, really easy for me to call and to just meet people face-to-face and close the deal. But now, in this new normal, I knew I had to do things differently. So I studied what my mentors had been doing. I studied their philosophies and how do they fill a webinar? How do they get people to close through email marketing? And here's the thing, guys. I was really, really negative. In fact, if you would have talked to me 6 months ago, just before really COVID and as it started, because I was such a face-to-face, belly-to-belly person and had a very, very high close rate, I was anti-email marketing, very negative, because I thought it was spam. I thought it was this. I thought it was that. I unsubscribed quite often from email campaigns because I thought, you know what, I'm getting too much of this crap. But then I thought about how well my mentors had been doing, and I get their emails almost every day. It's one of their ways they communicate. They get people from Facebook, LinkedIn, online lead generation. My mentors have made millions and they've been selling virtually actually for a couple decades. I remember a story too, I kind of kicked myself a little bit because I look back 13 years ago when I met one of my first copywriting friends who was writing email copy and I didn't get it. I was like, I don't get it because I had a negative thought process. And I hope you really get what I'm talking about today. This isn't so much about email marketing. This isn't so much about making millions of dollars. It's what limiting belief or negative thought is holding you back from accomplishing your goals and your dreams, whatever that may be for you. So my goals and dreams are all really around time freedom, spending time with my family, traveling anywhere I want to go on a moment's notice. This past week, we decided spur of the moment. Next day, we went to Santa Barbara. We found a great deal, a great place with a pool right by the ocean, escaped the heat of Escondido for a few days. That's what I'm creating. And a lot of that has happened just because I had a consciousness mindset shift around this one negative belief system. And I remembered a story that my friend who was the email copywriter, he was so excited about his career and I was excited. I was his coach for a little while, getting him going. And he was telling me about his mentor who had a huge email list. And keep in mind, this was 2007. And so that was just really, getting bigger and bigger. And I had a real estate business. I sent out newsletters. I had my email thing, but I was more of a, cold call, door knocking, relationship building type of person, right? So I didn't believe in email marketing. And even with the story, I still didn't believe email marketing was for me. And this guy who was already super successful and he was, making tons of money, living, laptop lifestyle back then in 2007, because he had such a massive email list and he had created products and courses and things of that nature. He one day said, you know what? I need to make 10 grand today. I want to go on a trip. Now, most of the time when you think about the average American anyway, I don't know what it's like in other countries, they're going to say, you know what? I need to save up all year long for a trip. And even then, they might still use a credit card. The average American will go into debt if they have to for $1,100 just to go on a trip. I know this because I actually have a travel technology business that I invested in, and I learned all the stats and the stuff. And so even with COVID, travel is still huge right now. And either way, a lot of people, that's kind of an elusive thing. And yet for this guy, all he did was create an email offer that was pretty irresistible to his list. And I wish I could tell you how big his list was. I know it was well into the thousands. Like, we're talking thousands and thousands of people, right? So he sent out his email with his irresistible offer. I'm sure you've gotten something like that before. And guess what? He made his 10 grand. He didn't go into debt for it. He didn't dip into savings. He didn't wait a whole year. He just sent out one email, guys. One email. And I had a breakthrough this summer. I didn't have the time with, our kids home, forced pandemic homeschooling, starting my podcast, doing a lot with new clients, starting a new coaching program, all the stuff, right? Juggling a lot. I didn't have my old school time and habits of smiling and dialing, inviting people to my webinar. I just didn't. I couldn't meet with people face to face. So I actually acquiesced and said, you know what? Gosh darn it. I'm going to give this email marketing thing a good old college try, right? And of course, as you know, Yoda says, do or do not. So I actually just freaking did it. I did it. And it was after, many, many months of talking to my coaches, having a mindset shift, having COVID, facing my fears and doing it anyway, focusing on my podcast, focusing on giving, guys, giving value. And it was actually, publishing my podcast that helped me recognize, hey, I have a lot of value that I can give. Helping someone publish a book, in the next couple months. And that's something of value. So why not publish emails every week and give free advice, tips, tricks, something of value? Why not me? Why does it have to be for every other coach and mentor out there who's already, oh, by the way, making six figures through email marketing, or even millions of dollars through email marketing? I've always had a CRM. I've always had the database, but I didn't think it was for me because I had a negative paradigm around it. So this summer, I had amassed an email list of 2,000. I started working with a copywriter. I started putting together some email campaigns, and one of them was for my podcast launch, and another one was for my webinar. So they were even running simultaneously. So I was sending out emails almost every day for a week straight, just cranking out, lots and lots of hours of the day was spent focused on my podcast. So I didn't have many phone calls. I didn't call and personally invite too many people to this webinar. And guess what? Because of the power of that list, granted, by that time it was only 2,000, maybe 2,500. We got 113 people registered for the webinar. 45 people showed up, and me and a business partner sold about $8,000 worth of stuff that day. Once we divided that, I ended up with about a $3,000 30-minute payday. Granted, there was more time and effort and energy put into it to prep. However, now all I need to do is rinse and repeat that, and I have a much bigger list today. I've also studied some of the greats like Forbes Riley, who I was interviewing for my podcast launch. There's so many people who have hundreds of thousands of people on their list, and they didn't have to be great to start. They did start to be great. So I took that, inspiration from that $3,000 workday, which again was only really 30 minutes of my time personally presenting and speaking. And then I grew my list, got it closer to over 3,500 by August 1st. And I'm going to teach you all this, guys, in a $7 course that I'll be launching here soon. You can get the information from me if you just sign up, for my email list. I'll send it to you. I'll invite you on the how-to. I'm not going through that today. I'm just sharing my paradigm shift that helped me break through to actually a combined $35,000 worth of cash and gifts and prizes. So you're like, wait, 35,000? I thought you just said you had 3,000. Well, but wait, it gets better. So my list was bigger. I had developed a great, valuable resource. I have anywhere, depending on the day, a 20 to 30% open rate on my emails, which is pretty amazing. A lot of people are happy with 10 to 15%. And I'm getting 20+% because I'm giving value. I've learned from the right people. I sent out a couple emails, just 2 emails about a contest my podcast coach was doing. And that's it. I kind of forgot about it. Didn't think I was going to win the contest, to be honest with you, because normally I have to put a lot of effort to make good money. That was my old Lois thinking. But guess what? On Friday, while I was in Santa Barbara, enjoying time freedom with my family, still working, but just in a different, zip code, and enjoying some cooler weather and the ocean and the beaches and pool and all that, I was the winner of the $32,000 grand prize contest, which I'm not going to go through everything that was included, but let's just say it's going to be a much, much, much bigger, I'm going to say multiple 6 figures return on winning that prize because of the value that's included. Podcasting equipment, coaching in an inner circle program, one-on-one access to a mentor who I think very, very highly of. And I'm actually going to save a boatload of money on what I would have spent, because I would have probably spent $30,000 alone on coaching one-on-one or working with him over the course of the next 12 months. And I won that prize. I actually blew away the second place person. It was based on a point system. But because my email list is so robust, healthy, positive, and nurtured, I won a $32,000 prize that's going to transform my life. And I've already been transformed because I took risks, because I trusted my coaches and mentors. I copied the right cats, guys. I copied the right cats. You don't need to invent the wheel, man. You don't have to reinvent it. Just find people who know what they're doing. Ask for help, especially if it's around something where you have negative energy, because what you focus on expands, and it also lowers your vibration. It also might be holding you back. And once you break through those paradigms, the law of attraction, the vibration that you have, your energy, your consciousness, energy and money goes where it flows, right? So again, what are you thinking or holding on to that might be holding you back in this new normal? Is it, I don't want to write a book. I don't want to have a podcast. I don't want to have an email list. I don't want to have a CRM. I don't want to have to do a Facebook group. I don't want to, insert whatever your fear is here. I overcame 2 limiting beliefs this summer. Number 1, I thought I didn't have a voice and I shouldn't do a podcast because who in the hell is going to listen to me? By facing my fear and negative beliefs on that and doing it anyway with coaching, with support and mentorship of the people who knew what they were doing, I broke through that. And I believe that's what actually helped me recognize my other limiting belief around email marketing. And guess what? Those 1-2 things are now helping me see, oh my gosh, anything is possible. And again, it's not about the money, guys. That's a destination. This is the journey. This is the journey to what are you discovering and learning about yourself that is holding you back from the life you really want to live and from being your highest and best version of yourself? Life is too short, guys. I lost just over 6 months ago, my 49-year-old brother died, and that was a wake-up call for me. People are dying left and right of COVID. I mean, there's a lot going on in the world today. If you're afraid to shine your light and help the world by healing yourself first and then going out there and helping others do the same, and whatever your vocation is, I believe we all have a purpose. We all have a passion. You don't have to want to be a coach or a podcaster like me. Just really take some time. This will be my last thought. Every night before you lay your head down on your pillow, ask yourself this: am I living my best life? What is holding me back? What can I do, or how can I be different in this thing called life? And hopefully it doesn't take a wake-up call like a family member dying or, another another pandemic. I think a lot of us are waking up to a new reality. So we're having to move and shift and be different, right? So we can have different results in this new normal. No one succeeds alone either. And it certainly doesn't have to be me. Find coaches and mentors who have what you have, who've done what you, have what you don't have or what you want. And maybe they've done what you think or seem is impossible, because you can't succeed on your own. Left to our own devices as humans, we have so many limiting beliefs, and there's so much we don't know. The more I learn, the more I realize that I don't know. So every night before I go to bed, I just kind of like to reflect and dump on paper what worked today, what didn't, and how can I have better and different tomorrow. So if you have any questions specifically around email marketing or podcasting, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to gift you a free one-on-one coaching session just to kind of help you shift your paradigm. I did that today for a friend, totally free, no strings attached. And it was awesome because I could see their mind opening in that moment. What they do with it, what you do with this information right now, the most important thing, again, is what is holding you back from possibly your own breakthrough that could bring in $35,000 of abundance. And again, it's not only about the money, guys. It's about what you do with the information and how it transforms you mentally, physically, and spiritually so that you can shine your light and be of service to others. Thank you so much for tuning in. Look forward to sharing with you more about my $7 course on how to list build with Lois. Have a great day. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, refer a friend, and please drop me a rating or a review. If you do that, I'll reward you with a free 20-minute free coaching session on crafting your journey to your best self. Reach out to me at loiskoffi.com to claim your 20-minute slot. Until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.